I, Healthy Emmie, read 28 books in the month of March. Guys, please stop with the applause. I'm so embarrassed. Stop. Oh my gosh, stop. Oh, word got out about my 28 books. Hello, my honeys. If you're new here, hey, I'm Healthy Emmie, and today we are going to be resetting for the month of April, wrapping up Q1. The first quarter of 2023 has come to an end, and now we are in the time of blossoming into the spring. Let's see what lies ahead for me and my personal goals and what I have achieved so far. I would love to hear what your goal is coming into spring of this year, or if you're on the other side of the planet, perhaps you're one of my Aussies, or you're somewhere where you're actually heading into autumn, tell me what your goal is for this new season that we're coming upon. When I was thinking about the goals that I achieved this month and the goals that I want to set forward, I noticed that I actually was having some trouble seeing the forest through the trees, because I looked at the goal that I achieved for March and I said, how can I add on to this goal? When in reality, what I needed to do and what I did instead was step back, look at 2023 as a whole, come back to the goals that I made for myself in January and what I wanted to achieve this year, see the progress that I've made on the bigger goals, and then sort of take the visionary approach to looking ahead, as opposed to getting so lost in the micro goals that I'm not even achieving what the bigger goal is, because I'm just so lost in the micro goals that I set. So normally what I do is set my goal for April based on what I achieved in March, but instead I decided to take the approach, because the first quarter is over, of really stepping back, going back to the goals that I made for myself in January and taking it from there. And this is something that I do with my clients when they wrap up the SOS program, Slim on Starch, and then they move into the master's program, is let's take it back to what your goals were when you first started and the progress that you've made on those, and comparing back to that, because we can get so lost in the day-to-day. So going back to the goals that I set for myself at the beginning of the year. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go through each of the goals that I set for myself in March and talk about whether or not I achieved them. And then I'm going to reflect on the quarter one goals that I achieved, as well as what my upcoming goals will be. And we'll do this section by section. As far as my emotional health goes, something that I committed to at the beginning of the year was meditating before every single meal. And I have done that. I meditate before every single meal, and I love doing that to get me into the parasympathetic rest and digest mode, as opposed to fight or flight. If we eat when we're distracted and when we're running around and this, that, and the other, we're putting things in our body, then our body doesn't know that it's time to eat. So it's not going to be focusing on digestion, and you're not going to be releasing the right digestive enzymes. And that's going to cause things like bloating and indigestion, constipation, diarrhea. And if you allow your body time to get into the mode of eating, to calm down, and then to eat and eat mindfully, your digestion is going to be improved. You're going to be more satisfied. You're not going to be hungry soon after, because your brain could actually register that you ate and you're assimilating nutrients quite well as well. So I'm so proud of myself for this one. And I also have done something really, really cool, which I'll talk about in the mental health side of things. Something that I worked on this month that I wouldn't say I've achieved is gaining awareness of my disconnecting and or lack thereof, and then also granting myself open free time and shutting off the watcher. What I mean by this is, hi, I'm Emily and I'm a workaholic. I work because I have the blessing and curse of loving what I do so much. But unfortunately, what it means is that I can spend so much time wrapped in my world of work that I don't allow myself or grant myself time to shut off and disconnect. And that it's a good problem, right? And we say that you shouldn't wish for a life without problems. You should wish for a life with good problems. And I have a very good problem in front of me, which is that I love what I do and it's all I ever want to do. But it also means that with it comes judgment from the inner critic of when I'm not working, because I could be working right now and I should be working right now. Logically, what the reality is here is that rest is productive. Rest is what allows us to work efficiently when we are working. So I have this double-edged sword here of not wanting to rest because I love what I do so much. I'm like the kid who wants to stay up just 5 more minutes, just 5 more minutes. Just let me play 5 more minutes of this game. Or I'm the kid that's out in the street running because, I don't want to go to bed yet. That's how I feel about my work. And so I wanted to grant myself more time to disconnect. And I definitely improved, but for sure there are improvements that I can make there. And once again, a blessing and a curse is I'm in a relationship with a man who loves his work as much as I love my work. So we kind of enable one another to get lost in work. And, during COVID, a lot of our dates were work dates. We would just hang out and work together. So we enable one another to work as much as we do. So this is a discussion that I've had with him about, let's find some new primary foods that we want to get into as a couple. And that's something that we actively work on together, is allowing ourselves to disconnect, because we have the blessing and curse of just being obsessed with what we do for a living. In Q1, something that I achieved in terms of my emotional health was getting a massage every other month. And actually the way that I did it was I got a massage in January. I got a massage in Feb. I was planning on getting one because it was my birthday. And I was like, I'm going to treat myself. But then my boyfriend got me one. I didn't get one in March. So I'm still on track for every other month. April is going to be a tricky month because I am, fingers crossed, moving. And there's Easter this Sunday, which I wanted to get a massage this Sunday, but apparently it's Easter. No, it is Easter, and I am celebrating that. So yeah, I'm going to keep up with my bi-monthly massages, which that's going to be hard for me once I move to justify that. But I'm going to do it because I said I was going to do it. And when I say I'm going to do something, I do it. Even if it feels uncomfortable, what feels uncomfortable, because it does feel uncomfortable for me to justify that spending that time. That's the first thing I think of, is spending the time and driving there and all the time that goes along with it, but also the cost that goes along with it too. But if it makes me uncomfortable, it means it's probably something that I have to do. I want to walk into that discomfort. I want to explore, why is it that it makes me feel uncomfortable? Because it's something that's foreign, treating myself and giving myself time to do these things. So that means that I'm growing. So I'm going to walk into that discomfort. Who would have thought a massage can make somebody uncomfortable? But when you are a happy workaholic, taking time for yourself. And I know that I'm preaching to the choir here. I work with a lot of people, a lot of moms or caretakers, nurses, wives, moms that are mothering a child that may not be theirs, dads, people that are always taking care of other people, that feel a lot of guilt when they invest in themselves. So I think it's interesting to walk right into that and say, where does that come from? And what am I really afraid of here? It's not that bad. For the month of March, in terms of my mental health, I did do my daily 5-minute journal. And for right now, it's feeling like a little bit of a chore that I'm not seeing the benefit from that I was at the beginning of the year. But I saw it through because, sometimes what feels annoying in the moment, you're very happy that you did later on. But I can't say that was the case with the journaling. At this point, right now, April 2023, I'm not going to journal for the month of April 2023. I instead am going to do what I've been doing in March that I found a lot more beneficial for changing thoughts toward new thoughts that I would like to have. And that is the affirmations and meditation practice that I have instilled that I love, which is this. So you know that I meditate before every meal. I meditate every day. But I've upped it a little bit. And I've written out affirmations for thoughts that my brain didn't currently have, but I said, I want that to be the automatic thought that my brain has. Let me give you some examples that may resonate with people that watch my videos, because I help with weight loss and plant-based eating. For you, it could be this isn't mine. This could be something that could work for you. I release weight effortlessly. I love eating whole plant foods. I look forward to eating whole plant foods. Things like these that may not be your automatic thoughts right now, but you want them to be your automatic thoughts. So I've done that for myself personally, and I'm not going to share what they are because they're very personal to me, and I want you to find ones that are very personal to you. I've recorded myself saying them. So I wrote them out. I recorded myself saying them, and every morning I meditate and I listen back to myself saying those affirmations. And there's something that happens in the brain, something when you're in that meditative state and you're hearing your own voice say these thoughts, those became my automatic thoughts. And then I had to write new affirmations because I was listening to things. I'm like, I already believe all this, which meant that I had trained my brain to think differently. And now I could think of something even higher thoughts that I wanted to have, which is really, really cool. And I'm going to continue with that as opposed to the journaling because I'm finding that much more effective. I also did try doing my own journal topics. I did that for the month of January, I think, or maybe February. It was February, I believe. For the month of February, I did my own journal topics. And like I said, not serving me at the moment, kind of keeping me in the thoughts that I'm currently having. Whereas I'm not somebody who wants to just like sit in, just sit here now. Like I want to continue to grow. I want to continue to become better. So just sitting in the thoughts that I'm having right now, like that, what is that doing for me? Why digging into that's not going to get me anywhere? I want to create new thoughts. So that's why I really like this new practice. Primary foods. So wow, was March the month of primary foods. Healthy Emmie, read 28 books in the month of March. Guys, please stop with the applause. I'm so embarrassed. Stop. Oh my gosh, stop. Oh, word got out about my 28 books. So yeah, I have gotten into reading novels and really just getting lost in these beautiful stories. Finally reading all the books that everybody has read. And there are some books that I want to read too. Like I want to read Tom Sawyer. That is, for some reason, The Adventures of Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn has been calling my name. And the books that I've been reading have been, I've been loving thrillers and romance novels and contemporary novels, literary fiction. But I kind of want to read some classics to discover what the hype is all about. And, there's a reason why these books became so famous. And I kind of want to explore that. In high school, I read The Great Gatsby. That was probably my favorite book that I read in high school. And I read To Kill a Mockingbird. I read those, but I read The Scarlet Letter, but I didn't read We never read Tom Sawyer. And for some reason, Mark Twain is living rent-free in my brain telling me to read Tom Sawyer. But I can't say I'm not a classics lover. I've been loving contemporary. Like I'm reading some young adult books. Young adult is just so innocent. It brings me back. Yeah, I read 28 books, baby. And then I also read some books for increasing my capabilities as a practitioner, as somebody who cares for others. For instance, Radical Acceptance, really great book. What Happened to You, about trauma. Very, very insightful book that very much connects to the work that I do. Work with a lot of people that have gone through serious trauma that contributes to their relationship with food and their relationship with their bodies. And so, I was just reading that book, just nodding the entire time, saying, yep, because these are all things that I see in my practice. So if you do have a history of trauma, you might really like that book. Or to be honest, I think that book is more helpful for people who know somebody that have gone through trauma. I had the goal also of joining some new book clubs. So let me insert that footage. I just went to a meetup for a new book club. at a used bookstore. So the book club that I just joined, this meeting that I went to, wasn't the meeting for the actual book this month. It was just members of the book club meeting at the used bookstore, looking for some books, walking around, talking, and it was lovely. I met 3 beautiful souls, 3 lovely women, and we were talking about the different books that we're into and what types of books they like, and do they do audiobook or do they read? Do they get from the library? Do they buy their books? I was giving recs, they were giving recs, and I was learning about different ways that I can use Goodreads. We followed each other on Goodreads. It was awesome. They were such kind, good-natured people, and I'm really excited to have their connections now. So I'm really happy that I did that, and I got some new books that I want to read. I don't buy my books. I'm a huge library girly. This is what we pay taxes for, people. I have 3 library cards and I'm not afraid to use them. So I'm gonna start my new book right now. Read an entire book this morning. I'm gonna start my new book right now. I'm curious, what kind of books do you guys like to read? Just finished up with book club. It was awesome. You can see I have moving boxes in the back because I just went to U-Haul to get some boxes to get my house ready to be moved. But book club was fantastic. It's so great to put yourself into environments where you're a bit, I don't know if out of your comfort zone is the best, because I wouldn't say I was out of my comfort zone, but I was with a bunch of people they were strangers. It's interesting to put yourself into those situations because then you get to know who you really are. So for anybody that's like, who am I? What's my identity? I know I talk about this a lot with my clients who have been defined or defining themselves by their relationship with food and their weight. Join clubs, go to meetups, go to groups, and go to things where you don't know anybody, and you learn a lot about yourself in those. I was always thought to be a leader in school and in sports. I was always the leader type. And in these scenarios, that really confirms that personality trait of mine. As we went to book club and I felt like I kind of facilitated the conversation and thought of questions we could talk about, and I chose the next book, which, by the way, I am so excited for the next book. I was like, okay, my book was chosen, no big deal. My book won unanimously in the vote. The theme is international, so I suggested a book called Before the Coffee Gets Cold, which sounds so fascinating. It's about, I gotta put my sunglasses on. It is about a coffee shop in Japan, and you go in, you have your coffee, and you have the opportunity to go back in time to one point in your life, which sounds like such a fascinating concept and great for discussion. So that's going to be our book, actually for May. But now I got to go home and pack. I'm going to start packing up my house. I love my new book clubs, and I'm so excited to be moving where I'm moving in the city because I'm going to have access to so many more of these. And I love a book club. I love it. I love reading. This is this whole new world. As far as my upcoming goals, coming into the new seasons, having my capsule wardrobe. So I don't yet have a capsule wardrobe for spring. Spring in Boston, there is no spring. It's winter and then it's summer. So having a spring wardrobe when you live here, it's a little bit shaky. So we'll see how that goes. But I do need to make sure that I have my capsule wardrobes. And I love that as a primary food clothing. And what I've achieved in terms of my capsule wardrobe and my primary foods is I've gotten rid of all clothing pieces that I don't absolutely love. I only have something if it's a heck yes, I love this piece. If it's not a heck yes, then I don't have it. But primary foods wise, the thing that has really been so big for me this month is discovering this whole new world of reading. And I could do a million little teeny tiny primary foods, or I really honed in on this one primary food, and this has just been huge. There is this entire world of reading that I wasn't exposing myself to, and I'm so excited about it. Reading is the greatest gift. How grateful I am to have the ability to read. Not everybody has this. How cool that I can read and I can go into this world. It's such a healthy way of exploring your imagination and expanding your imagination, expanding your creativity and your understanding of the world. It's just, I love it. Minimalism, my house, my house, my house, my house. We're saying goodbye to my house. I am selling my beautiful home. I called it my Barbie dream home because I got to pick everything in it. But it's, moving on from this chapter, moving in with my significant other. We're moving into the city together. I did film my minimalist house tour. That was a goal for mine. I haven't uploaded it yet because I want to wait until my house is sold before I upload it. So that's done. I filmed it. My brother came over. We filmed the minimalist house tour. My house is ready to be sold. The open house is this weekend. I'm ready to move. I have all my ducks in a row. Now it's just the waiting game of the date to come. So for Q1, I totally minimized. I only have items that either have purpose or bring me joy. I really feel as though my living situation is representative of my minimalist mindset, very open and free and clear. I'm ready to move. And then once I'm moved into my new spot, I will focus on getting new plates and new bowls. That's something that I want to do by the end of the year. I'm giving myself plenty of time to achieve that goal. And I'm going to have my new office. So that'll be fun. You get to come with me as I set up my new office in my new spot. Physical health. You may or may not remember, this is the photo that I put for physical health because I wanted to glow. I really wanted to come into 2023 and have 2023 be the year where I nail my skincare routine, I nail my makeup routine, and it glows. And do you notice a difference with my face? Am I glowing? Because I really am so proud of myself. In the month of March, I went to Sephora and I got a brand new set of all of my makeup products. I made sure that all the products were vegan, cruelty-free, and that they were clean. That was what was really important to me, was I didn't want to feel like I was bogged down with makeup, because I didn't want it to be like, ugh, I have to put on makeup today. Now I just want to wash it off. And I didn't want it to be full coverage. I want you to still be able to see my skin, because I really like my skin and I want my skin to come through, and I don't want it to be covered up by makeup. And I prefer to be makeup free most of the time. So when I am wearing makeup, I'm really happy now that I have high quality, really lightweight makeup. As far as what I achieved in Q1, according to my skin, is I do wear my SPF every single day. Whenever I go outside, I always make sure I have my sunscreen on. I used up all of my old skincare, and I did add in a new Korean skincare product, which is a sunscreen. I feel really solid in my skincare routine, and this is something that's going to continue to evolve over the course of the year. So that's going to be my big focus. I feel like I've nailed the makeup side of things now that I have all of my new makeup, and now really continuing to build on my skincare. Another goal that I have for myself that's related to this is having a carrier for, you know, those carriers that they fold down and they have all the different sections where you can put your toiletries in. I want to store all of my makeup products in there and use that every day, so that when I travel, I don't have to pack everything up from what I currently use. It just always lives there. So that's part of minimalism as well, is I don't want to have a container for my makeup products when I'm at home, and then a separate bag that I put all of my makeup and skincare in when I'm traveling. I want that to be all one item, so traveling is a lot easier. So that's something that I'm going to be looking into coming up. I am moving this month, hopefully. That is something that I would like to purchase before my mom and I go on our trip to the Caribbean next month. So a new carrier for makeup, and then also just, I really want to nail my Korean skincare routine. I want to feel really solid about my skincare. I already have the habit in place, which, if you want to become an absolute pro at something, first get the habit in place. If you want to become a really good runner, or you want to become a really good plant-based eater, and you're eating really high quality foods and you're making delicious recipes, first get in the habit of going on a run every day, even if it's a 1-minute run or a 30-second run. If you want to be a really awesome plant-based chef, then get in the habit of cooking something every day, even if it tastes horrible and even if you have no idea what you're doing. Just get the habit in place first and then become an expert later on. Work on the expertise part with practice. Just doing it every single day in and of itself is going to make you an expert. So I have the habit of my skincare in place, and now I just need to continue to learn more about my skin and what types of products are going to be good for my skin, perhaps starting to get facials. Not quite sure. I've heard mixed things about facials, although I do know a lot of estheticians, and I know that a lot of estheticians follow me. If you're an esthetician, then give me some advice of what you think I should do with my skin. But yeah, I feel really good about the strides that I've made in terms of having my appearance be more glowy. I want to glow. So I'm really happy with the progress that I've made there. As far as content creation goes, one of my goals for the monthly reset was to vlog during the month while achieving these goals. And I did sort of do this. As you will see, I recorded my skincare, and then also for my primary foods, I recorded some stuff as well. But okay, so I wanted to talk about this because I sort of had this thought, and I'm not committing to anything. I'm just going to plant this seed. I did buy a new vlog camera, and I'm thinking, because there are so many lifestyle videos that I love lifestyle. I love minimalism. I love clean living, styling, fashion, capsule wardrobe, organization, living a very free, open, yet controlled life. And the way that the YouTube algorithm works is that my channel is about plant-based weight loss. And so that is the audience that my content gets pushed to. If I make videos about lifestyle, it will go out to people who want to see videos about weight loss. Not as many people will watch it. And for that reason, those videos don't get pushed. So what the better thing to do is start a separate channel. And I was thinking maybe calling it, I have my Healthy Emmie channel, and then having Simply Emmie be my lifestyle YouTube channel. I am not committing to this. I am planting the seed because during the month of April, I don't think I need another thing on my plate, the month that I'm moving. But I wanted to plant the seed to see what your thoughts are on this. And I was thinking perhaps I could commit to 1 year of Simply Emmie, uploading 1 video a week, lifestyle focused, and just see how it goes for the year. And then in a year's time, I can make a call as to whether or not I want to continue doing it. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on that. In terms of my content creation, I'm very happy that I did change the aesthetic toward an aesthetic that I feel more proud of in terms of my reels. So I talked about how my reels used to look like that because that was what was trendy, but then I made them like this because that's more so aligned with what I'm proud of. They're not 100% representative of what I want them to be, but to be honest with you, I don't think anybody who creates content is in a position where they're just creating 100% what they want to, because you do have to play the game a little bit. You do. The good news is that my program, the SOS program, is exactly what I want it to be because that's mine and I can do whatever I want to it. The reels that I've been making are a lot more basic and simple, and again, they're not 100% where I want them to be, but I think with moving into my new place, that will be a good fresh start for me to make some new reels and those kind of things too. I'm really excited about moving into my new place, with our new place with my boyfriend. My place, and he gets to live there too. No, it is ours. That's the whole purpose of us moving it together. As far as my thumbnails go, I have been liking them more than they were in the past. Again, like I said, you do sort of have to play the game there. So I am playing the game with the thumbnails, but they are, maybe on my lifestyle channel, I will just do exactly what I want to do. If I do go forward with that lifestyle channel, it's going to be my experiment where I'm just doing 100% what I want to do and just seeing how it goes. Why not? Literally, why not? I have nothing to lose. And then kind of what I was talking about, I got my new vlog camera. I purchased it It's here. I haven't unboxed it yet. And then I would like to plant the seed, and I would love if you could please leave a comment letting me know if I were to make a lifestyle channel, if that's something that you would be interested in. And perhaps I will do it from May 2023 to May 2024, and I commit to it for a year. Or perhaps, yeah, I don't know. All right, we'll see. Let me know. Primary foods. As far as education goes, like I said, read 28 books. I also, watching my shows with Spanish subtitles I always do that. It's so unfortunate because what is going on here with not making closed captions available on all videos? It's 2023. Not everybody can hear, and we are still not putting closed captions on some shows. How is that really? A show should not be able to air unless there are closed captions for those that are hard of hearing. But for that reason, sometimes I can't do Spanish subtitles, which really bums me out. It really makes me sad, but it's so funny because then when like my mom comes over to watch The Real Housewives with me every week, and I guess I could build that into one of my primary foods. My mom comes over every week and we watch Real Housewives, but it's so funny because she'll come over and there will be the Spanish subtitles for The Real Housewives. I've learned a lot of cuss words from, not from Real Housewives because they bleep them out, but on Netflix, I'll be watching some shows and now I know how to say some cuss words, and I wouldn't have known that had I not done this, but that's been awesome. I've been loving it. And sometimes it's really fun because the subtitle will pop up before the actor says their line. And so I'll read it and I'll translate it into English, and then they say it in English, and it's so satisfying. And then as far as my miscellaneous goals, for the month of March, I wanted to check in with my goals every Sunday, and I did do that. And my main takeaways from Q1 are I'm really proud of my new skincare makeup routine. I really feel like I've really moved the needle forward here in terms of getting to the person that I want to be. Having a really strong skincare routine is going to be the last step of that. I feel good about my makeup. Now I just need to make sure my skincare really has all the steps. I want to address everything and make sure my skin is in tip-top shape. I also am really proud of myself for only owning the necessities. You know, with moving into my new house, one of my goals was getting my house all ready to move. And man, am I down to the bare bones of what it is that I own. I do not own any one thing that is not in use by me daily or weekly. The new primary food of reading has been a huge accomplishment of 2023. I'm so happy being able to step back and look at all these accomplishments that I've made in 2023. You know, Q1 is done. Q1 is done, honeys. If you haven't made progress on your goals, time to get serious about it. Let's go. And I feel as though I'm closing up this chapter in this home on a really strong note. I feel really good about how I'm carrying myself, and I'm really excited about this next chapter. I feel like I'm on the last page of this chapter. I'm ready to start the new one, living with my significant other in the city, and I'm thinking about what I want to name this next chapter of my life story. I have so many ideas. We'll see. What are you going to call your next chapter? If you're starting to work with me, what are you going to call it? Let me know what your goal is. Leave a comment. Let me know. I asked like a million questions during this video. And if you haven't left a comment yet, just leave a comment saying hi so that I can say hi to you. So thank you, honeys, for watching. I adore you, and I will see you next time. All right, bye.